are no laws, no guiding force. I saw a video over the week of a police officer who opened fire extrajudicially on a young boy. It troubled me a lot. I say whoever sent me this video did not do me a good service. You know, when I saw that, while I was trying to recover from that, I saw the Inspector General of Police dismissing that officer.
Come to MC Asha, your #1 shop plug for latest trending updates and gist. Do well to subscribe to our channel and turn on your post notification bell. Now understand.
That is how to lead. Dismiss the officer and said he should be tried in court. That is a leader. That is how to lead. Because when people are not punished for bad behavior, rascality becomes a norm. Order is the mother of progress. When I saw that, I said, this is a leader. This is now when prayer is important. You can't pray when there's a bad leader. It's a waste. Now there's a good person at the end of affair. You now pray, Lord, keep this one. There are no sacred cows. A transformed nation, for a nation to be transformed, there will not be sacred cows. Nations like Europe and America, the reason there is order is because there are consequences for action. And that man should not just be tried. They should backdate him, because for you to open fire like that in public, you must have killed many in secret. Must have killed them. They should not just, the dismissal. When I saw that, what I said is that, IG, God bless you. You know, those who are critical, there are some people, not everybody who speaks against bad government should be listened to. Some of them are just haters. When it's good, you commend. When it's bad, you condemn. Not that nothing anybody does is right except you. You are the only scent available. Meanwhile, you smell and stink like filth. So I commend the Inspector General of Police. You see, when things like that are done continuously, everybody behaves. I brought out my phone. I was arguing with somebody, you know, over a brand of a car. I said, this car product. That was in an Arab nation. I said, this car product is 2024. He said, no, that is 2023. I said, it's 2024. So while we are doing that, I decided to take a picture of the car. I was in my car, in this car rather. I was trying to take a picture of the car in front of me to send to one of my sons. The only brand of car that guy doesn't know is the one that has not been made. He knows cars so much. I was about to take a picture. This guy tapped my hand. Don't do that. I said, what? He said, you can be arrested. I said, why? He said, to take a picture of his car, you need his permission. Without his permission, you can't take a picture. That's law. Nigeria, people will do a video of you. Some will do a video. Videos should be done when there are laws that empower it. There's a law that says you can video any police officer. So on that breath, you can do it. But private individuals should not be. What am I saying? I'm talking of laws. There are laws. Where there is no law, there is rascality. Where there is no law, people don't live within the confines of discipline. The strength of every nation are the institutions. When the institutions are not disciplined, then the nation will be in chaos. Somebody say, in the name of Jesus, I will follow the Lord of wealth. First things first. There are people who live life without priority. You don't just wake up and go out. You wake up and live your life with priority. When you have a life of, every act of boredom is a function of a life that is not prioritized. Am I talking to somebody here? There's something called Covey's priority matrix. What you see, how you turn up. Every man is a definition of his priority. When you love football so much, we either call you a footballer or a fan of football. When you are so godly, we say you are a godly man. When you are addicted to profession, we call you a professional. Is that true? So every man is a definition of his priority. When you sit down and from morning till night you are talking about people, we call you a gossiper. You are defined by what you prioritize. There are so many people today who have great destinies, but they have bad priorities.